Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Gigabyte Challenge. What number is this? Number 13. This is the 8th final. It's the round of 16, right? Yeah, it's the round of 16. Yeah, I'm reading that right. Between Flipsid Tactics and Stanga. The first prize in the tourney is, of course, 1,500 euros. 500 euros for second place. Not too bad. There's been 296 teams, and I do want to see. Yes, Stanga were invited, and Flipside qualified. Of course, I'm SP Revolution 5. For Truesight TV. It's going to be a solo cast. It's a best-of-1 game. Flipside Tactics up against Stanga, if you haven't noticed by now. Now, let's get into the draft, since they are drafting very quickly, at least for my taste. I think they already did the draft, but we were waiting on the lobby to come up, and just decided they'd pick them now. So we got Sniper, Axe, Troll, Batrider, first bands. Pretty standard. You don't want to play against any of those. You got an Earthshaker coming out for Flipside Tactics, his first pick. A very strong hero, good team fight, lots of lockdown. Io and Tiny, though, are first pick for Stanga, who are a very formidable combo, but can definitely get shut down in the mid-game if you're not careful. Shadow Fiend will pick up for Flipside Tactics. The new Sniper's out of the pool, and he's really the only hard person to lane against as a Shadow Fiend. Bristleback, now being picked up for Stanga. Another big tanky hero. They've got a lot of meat on their side of the lineup with 3 strength heroes already. They did have Puck and Storm banned out against them, with Magnus and Spirit Breaker banned on their side. So they're very scared of getting locked down in these team fights. And Earthshaker is already going to be a pain to deal with in that sense. Flipside looking to not get controlled in these team fights, though, as they ban out the Puck and the Storm. 2 very strong team fight controllers in the mid-game, of course. Sorry if my casting is not perfect today, ladies and gentlemen. I am not as good at solo casting as I am at casting with a co-caster, and I meant to log out of Steam so you don't get those random little notifications. There we go. Everything's good now. Lich going to be picked up for Stanga. So I was saying they have a lot of meat, and now they've got meat covered in armor, because Lich's ice armor will do a lot to help them out here. Phoenix being picked up by Flipside, so looking for the Firebird, the Caw. The Orange Wyvern, if you will. Whereas Wyvern I'd like to call Blue Phoenix. Now, the final ban coming out. Now, Stanga need a, well, either a mid or a safe lane here. I'd imagine they are going to try lane this, simply because Lich will be able to give them extra XP, which will help Io and Tiny out a lot. That's one of the things they're most lacking. And so Flipside looking to ban something out. Queen of Pain's available in the pool, but I don't really see Stanga picking it up. However, it will be banned out, so they're definitely not going to be picking it up now. I'm really interested to see what this next pick's going to be for them. Puck, Storm, Quap, kind of the staples of mid lane being banned out. Shadow Fiend being taken by the enemy team. Sniper banned out. Even Troll, Warlord, and Magnus. It could be Lena mid, yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
They've gotten much time, though. If they want to take their time, they definitely can. Flipside, get banned, Witch Doctor against them. They got a lot of physical damage anyway, and this isn't exactly the most armor-heavy team outside of that Lich Ice Armor, and eventually Tiny's AC, or Bristleback's AC, for that matter. But Flipside just need another support. Oddly enough, Lion is still in the pool here. He's been nerfed a little bit, but he's still a very strong hero in my opinion. And a big shout out to all you guys. We got 56 viewers out here on Truesight TV. And really exciting to have you guys here. We really appreciate it. If you're enjoying the cast so far, well, buckle up, you got more coming. If you're not, well, sorry. I'll do better. I promise, I can do better. And they're really digging into the reserve time. I mean, they've reserved it up. For real. This must have been the point where Hijort actually remade the lobby. They actually had to do it and got out of their little draft simulator and got ready to take off the gloves, get the fisticuffs out. But now they might slip the gloves back on for a second. I've been told this is a very national battle, so Norway versus the Danes here. The Danes being Flipside Tactics, and the mix of Norwegians and other Europeans on Stanga. Invoker will be the final pick for them, though. An interesting hero, a decent one against this team, especially if he goes Quas-Wex, simply because of mana problems, but also an Exort Invoker could be very, very useful here. Because this team is relatively squishy. Phoenix is a bit tanky, Earthshaker might get there, but Shadow Fiend is not. And
10 seconds
that's going to be an issue. I'd say Juggernaut and Earthshaker, though, have pretty big mana problems. So Invoker's EMP could really ruin them. And now I really don't think we'll see the Lion pick up from them, simply because with all the disable Invoker will have with the Quas-Wex build, and the fact that he can't EMP drain, Lion's not going to be able to get the mana drain off very easily in a fight, and he does have mana problems when he can't do that, of course. Bristle Lich, of course, is very strong together. Cribiter Reno, I think that's how you say that. I was just thinking that they could put the Tri-Lane together with the Io Tiny. They don't have to run it mid. And they can get themselves extra XP with Sacrifice. Of course, Bristle Lich can work perfectly fine. There's quite a few ways they can lane this, and that is one of the strengths of Stanga's draft right now, so. And apparently, Sunderland's Bristle is pretty legendary, so I'm excited to see that. Player name Hero Craig Essam. Yeah. You guys in chat are what keeps me going, man. Again, though, huge shout out to you guys for coming out today. It really means a ton to us here at Truesight, since we are a very new casting studio, but one that looks to be, well, one of the best. I did notice that on Join Dota's website, we do have the bets locked now, where you've put your cheese, and 90%, almost 91% on Flipside, the rest on Stanga. So Flipside heavily favored, but I know we got a lot of Stanga fans here in the chat. Now, it will be a disruptor for them. Oddly enough, not banned up against the Lich, or the Io, so a very clutch pick here for Flipside that could make the game theirs. It also, being able to lock people down with Kinetic Field in front of Phoenix's Egg just turns it into a furnace. You ain't going nowhere at that point. They've shut the oven door, baby. So now we finally do have our lineup set. We're going to be moving into the game right now. And let me go ahead and flip over the overlay. Beautiful overlay it is. Much better than our AFK screen, which we will be getting redesigned sooner or later. Just eventually. It's taken a little while here. A few seconds remaining for somebody to pick up their hero here. Okay. For a second I thought Dota crashed. I was like, what? I've been having really odd crashes lately. Hopefully it won't be happening this game. Knock on some wood. Anyways, it will be Flipside up against Stanga. I'll start with Flipside. We've got Mania here on the Disruptor. Earthshaker will be played by Bland. Shadow Fiend played by John. Sorry, just wanted to be able to see him there. The Phoenix Bird, the Laser Bird. Ace will be picking him up. And last but not least, we have the Zid Juggernaut, played by Unicorn. On the Radiant side, we'll have Stanga with the Safe Lane Invoker, played by Joey. What I'm assuming is going to be a dual mid combo of LL, which I was told, or I assume is Loklok on the Tiny. Up here on the cliff, actually, for the moment, it's going to be Ingmunder. Throwing Swedish names and Norwegian names at an American. How rude. Me, ignorant American, obviously. And Bristleback played by Sunderland, apparently one of his signature heroes. And that's not the right hero. Here we go. We got Lich played by Biggie. So, no blood being spilled too early here. I do like the positioning of the Wisp, although I'll admit I'm not 100% sure how he got up there. I'm assuming it's some sort of tiny stands over here and they tether to him to get him stuck on the cliff. It looks like the runes are going to go 1 and 1, though, with Juggernaut picking up 1 and Io actually picking up the other, giving him a nice boost to early XP and that level 1 bottle, which is going to be straight from the start here, practically an instant bottle, which is going to be quite a big deal. Of course, once again, I'm SBRevolution5. You can find me at Twitter under that name, at Facebook, SBRevolution5 Dota, and on Twitch at SBRevolution5 as well. And this is Truesight TV, who you can find at Truesight TV on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and other social media networks, if you so please. We don't quite have profiles for those set up, so don't go on MySpace yet. But, anyways. So it actually is going to be a dual mid here from your Dire team at the moment, with Shadowfiend being babysitted by Earthshaker a bit. Tiny Wisp does have a lot of kill potential, especially once Tiny hits level 2. Oddly enough, he did go for boots first, so looking to really get in a good position there. Invoker's actually going to rotate up top, though, it looks like, seeing as he's up against Juggernaut and Disruptor, the combo they really want to shut down. So it looks like they're going to be moving Lich down to the bottom at least, and probably Bristleback with him in a moment. Once Bristle can get up to that side shop. And there goes your raises being thrown out by John, already sitting at 4 souls. 3 and 1 for him, 6 and 1, make that 7 for the Tiny right now. Wisp with 3 denies, actually. This combo is being very efficient, and the fact that Earthshaker's melee and doesn't really get up into their face as much is going to be a problem here. Now, Mania will glimpse back the Bristleback. This is what they had to be very careful with, rotating him down. If he TP'd and Disruptor glimpsed him back, well, that's a minute that Bristleback is dual laning with Invoker for no real apparent reason. And also, 100 gold just wasted. But they're going to keep the rotations going. So Unicorn going to rotate up top here to face off against Joey. You can't run from Juggernaut, apparently. And the Laserbird going to get hit with a Cold Snap, but not much to follow it up means not much is going to come out of it. Yes. And a double damage room for Disruptor, a bounty for Earthshaker. The supports on your Dire side really getting a lot out of these runes early on. And Juggernaut already sitting on phase boots, sitting top of the board in terms of farm, and just harassing out Joey. It's not normal that an Invoker will just get harassed out of lane by a melee hero, but when it's someone like a Juggernaut, it can definitely do the job. Will he secure the kill here? It looks like he will. First blood going over to the Juggernaut. He'll die for it, though. Buying out most of a poor man's shield, I'm assuming, on the way. But definitely a worthy trade for them, getting about 400 gold off of that. Invoker completely losing gold off of the exchange. Unfortunately, they don't want this Juggernaut-Invoker matchup to happen, but it seems wherever they put him, Juggernaut's just going to follow him around. So Juggernaut will be headed back up to the top lane. Ace, actually, I'm assuming he's going to TP bot now. Yeah, of course, because it looks like Bristleback has been getting free farm out here, although he doesn't have too much. He's, of course, staying ahead of the Phoenix, though. So it's more of an off-lane Invoker, and the tri-lane is constantly shifting. Biggie on this Lich is doing a lot. There was a toss mid. Sorry about missing that, guys. And we do have a Cold Snap coming out from Lich, and Ice Blast as well. Jug was slightly slow, but managed to purge it off with the Blade Fury. And he will be okay for now. No points in Healing Ward just yet, but he is level 4 with no points in stats. He's got an extra point he can use somewhere. Now, there's a tether going out mid lane. They want to fight here at the rune, or do they? Level 2 raises can do a lot of damage, but of course you got to watch out for that Tiny combo. If Wisp can give him any regen at all at that point, he can pull off the combo at this point, even though he doesn't quite have 240 mana. But now he does with that next level he's just picked up. He's also got a Ring of Basilius, so that's going to help a lot. And Wisp does have the Magic Stick as well, which will give them nice amounts of burst regen to help him land that combo a bit. Shadowfiend, though, getting some denies, gets harassed out there. This is not the ideal Shadowfiend situation, since he's having to just hang around with the Earthshaker. They're not the best buddies in the world, I get it. Simply because, well, Shadow Fiend needs his XP. Earthshaker needs his XP. And he's being zoned out so much that he's not really getting it. Phoenix is doing okay down here. It's not amazing, but since he's moved down to the bottom lane, he's caught up in farm significantly. And that Ring of Protection is helping him a lot against Bristleback because the physical damage will otherwise hurt a lot. He'll be able to salve up right now and shouldn't get that disabled. He's also got quite a few magic stick charges as well. And Earthshaker at least getting to his level 3, but Shadow Fiend sitting at 5 here. Nice raise onto the Tiny. It'll be a second one, but that part of that is blocked by the overcharge. Something a lot of people do forget is that overcharge does give you incoming damage reduction as well. So spamming that to your buddy can keep them alive in much more efficient ways. I often see people in pubs just going for the like 4-4-0 build with no overcharge, and I'm thinking, you could have saved my life there, buddy. Come on. Phoenix, though, sitting on his Tranquil Boots, actually, and he will dive the Bristleback a bit. He's got another charge of Fire Spirits ready if he wants them. Or, no, wait. I'm sorry. I do not play much Phoenix. That's my, apologies. That was the throw your Fire Spirits skill, not the summon your Fire Spirits skill. You know what I mean? His Tranquil Boots is going to help him out a lot, though. Wisp picking up a Bounty Rune, and it looked like it was Bristle that grabbed the regen as well. He's got a bottle here. Something I'm seeing more and more Bristlebacks pick up. Since early on in the game, you really do need the mana regen. And honestly, having a bottle on any hero is generally not that bad, unless you're not needing health or mana in some way. Basically just like Huskar, some instances of Sniper, depending on how much you're under harass. Are the only ones I can think of that don't really use it. They will toss onto the Shadow Fiend a bit. Shadow Fiend is sustaining very well in this lane, though, sitting on 33 and 10, 34 and 4 up on the Tiny. Very high levels of creep score for these heroes, and only one kill for either team early on in the game. I see you guys in the chat fighting over, well, it's 2-1-2. No, it's 2-2-1. Guys, it's been 2-1-2, 2-2-1, 1-2-2, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At some point during this game, it's been all of those. So, except maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But, yeah, that's for other reasons. Actually, Raze is going to come out. Wisp could fall here. He's got 40 HP left. The burn damage will secure it. Tiny on the run from Phoenix, but can't quite get out of the AoE. The trees are blocking him, but he will make it away. Just barely on 90 HP or so here. Looks to be going for a Hand of Midas, and I'm assuming he's gonna... No, he's not gonna farm a camp. He's actually gonna wait for Wisp to respawn, TP in, and get him that fountain regen. And as you can see, I believe Wisp was already overcharging in the fountain so that he's on lower HP, so when he gets to Tiny, Tiny instantly gets that regen. However, they do have some stacks up here for the Dire team. Getting that kill is pretty big for them, and also getting Shadow Fiend almost up to his soul cap. He's only level 3 Necromastery, though, due to the fact that Earthshaker's had to babysit him. Taking a look at overall hero levels, though, the offlaners are the ones really benefiting. The Bristleback and the Phoenix doing very well. We will see... Yeah, they're just farming in the jungle here with some of the excess mana. Tiny actually picking up an 8-minute Hand of Midas. Not bad at all, considering he's been dual laning, and he's gotten pretty decent CS. And Tiny needs a lot to get online. Oftentimes you'll want to see the Blink Dagger on him, but definitely you want to get that Aghanim Scepter and then something into an AC, Manta, Butterfly, whatever you want to get attack speed. They've got stacks to work with here. And there we go. Big stack going to be farmed up right now for Tiny. And he's already sitting on his boots, which he had from the beginning. So that's 700 gold going to him with the Midas and the stack itself. Juggernaut does take down Invoker up on the top lane. Apologies for missing that kill, guys. But I am but one caster. And I'm honestly considering myself pretty bad as a solo caster. Usually a co-caster helps me out a ton, but I've handled this one pretty well so far. We'll see how that continues to go. So if you have your pitchforks, don't put them away just yet. There may be calls for a riot later. Phoenix actually sitting on an urn, going to be very helpful to the team to help them sustain in these team fights. Juggernaut with the Mask of Madness. They've got tons of sustain, actually, with that urn, the Healing Ward, and Juggernaut's natural lifesteal, or not natural lifesteal, but the fact that he naturally is building into it in this metagame anyway. They're going to let Earthshaker sit out mid for a second while Shadow Fiend is farming camps. Looks like he wants to farm All 3 of these, possibly. And he does have himself 1 stack right here. I'm wondering, I think he's going to do the trick where he... Yeah, he wants to do the double stack. So, right-click here. And throw a race. A race. Okay, he actually doesn't pull it off quite yet, but he does manage to sack this camp while farming the other, at least. So, it's something. Double damage rune spotted out top. Looks like it's going to be Lich to defend that, and Wisp will pick it up. Shadowfiend, though, rushing a Blink Dagger, actually. This will amplify his farm a lot. He is one of the fastest farmers in the game, short of something like Anti-Mage with a Battle Fury, simply because, well, Anti-Mage has a natural Blink. Well, Shadowfiend has a Blink. He's really the fastest farmer in the game, at least at this stage of the game. And that's going to help him get around the jungle a lot quicker, possibly get away from Tiny Wisp and the combo. And actually, speaking of the devil, Tiny gonna get harassed down. He'll throw up the Phoenix Laserbird, getting wrecked here, as Wisp will actually take him down. They just need another right click from Shadowfiend right here, or actually Phoenix's damage over time, either with the Urn or the Fire Spirits, will finish him off there. They are stacking up Ancients as well here, though, so they're ready to recover on both teams here. The Juggernaut actually taking down Bristleback, who it appears came in for a gank, and Flipside really starting to pull ahead here. Let's take a look at our golden XP graphs. We've got about 2,500 gold advantage for Flipside, about 3k experience advantage as well, but keep in mind that rubber band effect can cause things to snap back into place at the 0 mark very early on. Net worth sitting in favor of Flipside, but keep in mind Tiny does have that Midas, so his net worth is going to be growing a little bit faster, assuming they can find a few pickoffs here. Wisp does have his level 6, but I don't feel like Tiny's ready to fight yet. It's actually a Shadow Amulet picked up by Tiny. Very interesting. Indeed. Now, he is being very patient, letting Wisp stack that, maybe looking for a higher XP creep. I'm not sure on the difference between the bird and the Hellbear, but I know there's like a difference between like the bird and the centaur, for instance. The centaur gives much lower XP, so I'm assuming they also know that the Hellbear gives higher XP, assuming that's the case. Now they will go in on Invoker. Nice 2-man tornado purging the Earthshaker's invisibility, and a relocate coming in from the Tiny. Can they kill the Phoenix? They will! Joey surviving on 40 HP right now. He'll be able to TP home. A double kill for the Tiny. This is exactly what Stanga are looking for right now in the terms of the game. They will be relocating right back to the jungle to get things done. The whole team rotating in here. That will leave an opening, though, for Juggernaut to push in the top tower. He's already sitting on a Yasha. And I gotta say, I'm not quite at the level these players are, but I'm questioning the Shadowblade pickup on Tiny. Sure, it can be used as the rich man's quote-unquote Blink Dagger. And it can force the supports on the enemy team to be less greedy. But I'm also not really seeing the point here. Especially when you already have a Quaswex Invoker, who I believe has utilized Ghostwalk at least once. And speaking of Invoker, he's going to use the Ghostwalk, throw out a Tornado, and they'll actually pick off the Disruptor here. But Unicorn, he's able to throw off the ult there, doesn't quite get the kill, and Wisp on the run from him. He'll actually get slowed, purging it off with the Blade Fury. He'll just try to run at this point. But Tiny coming in with some extra damage. The Wisp Spirits will fill him off. That's a double kill for the Wisp. And just like that, Stanga are pulling back into this game, where it looked like they were beginning to slip. Keep in mind, this is a best of one elimination kind of thing. So we will see one of these teams going home right after this match. I mean, they may already be at home since it is an esport, but you know what I mean. Once again, guys, if you are enjoying the broadcast, don't forget to hit that follow button. We really appreciate all your support, and we're trying to become one of the next big Dota 2 casting studios. So, but without fans, we got nothing. Anyways, Bristleback actually bottling up a double damage rune. He's working on that Vanguard. Okay. Ancient Thunderhide not going to join the party right yet. Oh, there we go. He was napping. He was like, nah, I heard about that guy, Bristleback. He'll wreck it. And actually, Bristle really being efficient farming this up. There's going to be an engagement bot that I'm almost going to miss, and, well, Phoenix was here. But it won't be rising from the ash right yet. Tiny now with the Glove of Haste, he finally gets those power treads. And let's keep in mind, for a Shadow Blade timing, this isn't too bad. It's very early on in the game, and he does have a Midas. I'm assuming eventually he'll drop the Shadow Blade. But one thing that people do forget is it does give you 30 attack speed. That's as much as power treads give you. And he actually has 90 attack speed with this. So he's made up for his attack speed loss with Grow already, and then gotten 40 extra on top of it with these 3 items. I'm assuming that's part of the reason here. Also, it's a good initiation item. However, there will be a glimpse back on the Bristleback, I believe. Well, he'll be bristling back home, he thinks. Actually, Lich Ult going to bounce. It will continue bouncing and may not do much. Juggernaut actually to bring down Lich on the backside. Phoenix taking down the Bristleback, though. They actually do bring down 2 and make it away with all of their members intact. And they got the Lich Ult mostly on that creep camp there, so avoiding a lot of damage from that. Tiny, though, is really starting to get fat. The Shadow Blade, he's looking for pickoffs with it, too, and that's exactly what you want to do with the item. Oh, that is true. It's also a lot easier for Wisps to follow a Shadow Blade Tiny compared to Blink. Good point, Hajort. I have to say, I do kind of like having a small channel like this because I can actually look at chat from time to time without having to parse through layers and layers of copy-paste-erino. To get this on BTS, you'd have to enable sub mode, but you'd have to also convince people to sub. And Phoenix moving in here. There's an illusion rune on the Wisp. I'm assuming he doesn't really want to pop it yet. Nice tether out. Tiny gonna go back in, though. He won't quite kill off Phoenix, and actually he's going to get stunned here by the egg. Nice tornado from the Invoker, but will it be enough? BKB coming out from the Jug. Ace getting slowed, cold snapped as well. A lot of ice coming to Phoenix's way, but he'll melt right through it, get up to the cliff, and it looks like he's going to get away. Unicorn getting glimpsed back. He's going to get caught in the kinetic field, or will he? He'll actually escape for a moment, but doesn't have enough time to re-invoke a Ghost Walk up at the current moment. Personally, no, I'm not a very good Invoker, but I like leveling Invoke at least to level 2, maybe even level 3 at this point in the game. I think he needs to upgrade it at level 12 to be level 3, though. Yeah. I believe that's the case anyway. Simply because I feel like if you need to get out in a pinch, it's really important to be able to do that. Now, it does up your mana cost slightly, and since you're casting more spells, you need a higher mana pool to work with, sure. But if it saves your life, it saves your life. Here comes the relocate in from the Wisp. Tiny gonna throw Shadow Fiend before he can even finish the ult. Nice glimpse back on the Tiny. Shadow Fiend ult will get both Bristleback and the Wisp. Bristleback actually being hit by the Jug. He'll go down here. Lich actually wandering into a Static Storm from Disruptor. A bit of a disastrous team fight for Stanga, but they only do lose 1. And John now under fire. There'll be an EMP. Nice placement there. It'll force them back from the Roche Pit a bit. And I think that did burn a little bit of Shadow Fiend's mana, at least. He does have the BKB, so not going for the Blink Yule's utility build more, but rather going for the kind of classic Shadow Fiend, if you will. Yeah, and I agree with you guys. It's a little better just to get Ags than building this kind of yard sale worth of items here. But again, he does have the Midas. He's going to be farming pretty well, and he's keeping up in terms of net worth. And I would waver to say if he didn't have this Midas, he might not be doing quite as well on that front. They did pull back the gold lead for a moment, but then have managed to let it slip again. However, they've at least scared Flipside away from Roche for the moment, which is very important to be able to do. Otherwise, they're going to get a free Roche. I mean, they're dire. They've got a Juggernaut. They've got a Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend actually with max presence of the Dark Lord, and Juggernaut with 3 points up in Healing Ward, as well as Mask of Madness and some crit. It's more than enough at this point. Now, Ace almost getting picked off, and actually he will get stunned mid-dive there from the Tiny. A glimpse back, though. Kinetic Field as well. He's got 10 seconds on the Shadow Blade. He'll toss Juggernaut back. Wiz trying to relocate out, and he'll actually get it off. Maybe sacrificing himself in the process, but also they could just wait out the dust from Disruptor. There is another dust, but it's not up for 50 seconds, and the rest of the team coming in to reinforce. I think it's a trap, actually. They'll throw down the Disruptor Static Storm, but Kinetic Field not there in time. Mania is going to get picked off now mid-air by the Lich ult. The good old alley-oop from Tiny setting it up. And, Juggernaut, yeah. TPing home. I looked at that and I'm like, yes, someone TP'd home. Who was that? But yeah, and actually, Bristleback is not even on that team, so never mind. Just ignore what I said there. Tiny now sitting on 2,200 gold. I'm wondering if this is going to be an Ags or a Blink from him. It's a bit of an unorthodox build, but a very good team fight for Stanga. Oh, a nice movement in there from the Phoenix. Shadow Fiend, he ults up, he BKBs, and they'll actually keep him alive. Phoenix will fall for it. Tiny picks up the Aegis, but Shadow Fiend should be able to kill him off in the meantime. What's on the ground here? And who picked it up? Or who killed it? I don't even know. Something was on the ground. It ain't on the ground no more. And double damage. Juggernaut will at least bring him down. They lose 5 for 1 there. But they do get an Aegis. Okay, that does not tell us anything. I'd still say not entirely worth it. He is going to be going for that Aghanim Scepter, which he's only about 1,300 away from. So, yeah, the casual Midas for attack speed, it's going okay. And keep in mind, no matter how far behind Stanga is, if they can take a few towers, you don't want to base race Tiny. If you do, you crazy. And Wisp coming on up. Shadow Fiend will blink away in time, though. Keep in mind, Wisp Bristleback is going to make Bristleback extremely tanky. He's going for Crimson Guard now. Seeing as a lot of Flipside's damage is physical. Although, most of it is not physical, to be honest. It's mainly just Juggernaut and Shadow Fiend. And, Earthshaker's crit. That's physical. And Crimson Guard won't do much against an Earthshaker crit. Oh, the glimpse back? Okay, wait, where did Okay, Bristleback relocated in with the Wisp. I was about to say... Tiny got glimpsed back, Bristleback came in with Wisp. Okay. I was a little worried that the glimpse just didn't work for some strange reason. They will be checking that for a ward here. And Tiny now sitting about 900 gold away from the Ags. I would say better late than never, but it's not even really late when it's a, what, third major item at 22 minutes, 24 minutes probably, being the final timing for that. Can work for sure. Unicorn continue to form. He does have his Sanj and Yasha up for that chase potential. And oh dear, Tiny. Don't worry guys, I bought out my point booster. It's over on the courier. Not much else to say for the big guy there. The Danes leading by 9 kills here and getting a great, critical pickoff at this point. They will throw down a sentry board just to be able to spot if Tiny's coming up when he respawns. I think they underestimate their own damage and their potential to take this tower down quickly enough. And let me just make sure the Radiant... Yeah, they do not see that sentry board. Whoops, that is a stat panel that we're not going to use. There we go. Lichel was just used, but not for much. John getting cold snapped. He will BKB up, and Bristleback's going to be on the run, but there, it's a beautifully placed Phoenix ult. And, well, Invoker's going to be on the run. There'll be a Mask of Madness pop there. Invis from Invoker, but it's not going to be enough. A Raze will bring him down. Ace with a triple kill on the Phoenix. He has really been making big plays this game. Even the times he's died with his ult, it's been useful. For something, there was just that one time, I believe, top lane, or maybe in the Radiant's shop, that they managed to pick him off with no real collateral damage, but Tiny 200 gold to go. Pretty adamant that he still does need the Ring of Basilius, though. And honestly, this crease camp and, well, anything else will get him there. And this could be the point of turnaround for Stanga. They're at 10k gold lead, 12k experience lead, of course, on the side of Flipside, not Stanga. But Stanga looking to make a comeback. They ain't giving up yet. It's defense of the Ancients, not defense of a couple of towers. And here it comes. 24.5 minutes for Tiny. He's going to grab the big wooden Marital Aid and go to town on the enemy team with it, whether they like it or not. Hopefully he checks them for splinters afterwards, though. Of course, I don't think Tiny would worry about splinters since he doesn't quite have that problem. There actually will be a relocate up top. There's a glyph coming out from the Dire. Keep in mind, though, Tiny actually has 9 extra armor from the Ice Armor, 2 from the Basilius Aura, and where's the rest of that armor come from? 17. Okay, really, where is the rest of that armor coming from? Armor increased by 2. Okay. Does he get bonus armor? Am I just... Oh, yes, he gets bonus armor with Craggy. Okay. I didn't realize that. Yeah, he's sitting on 20 armor overall. Now, he will walk right into the Sentry, but Phoenix will, well, almost walk right into his death. But Tiny overextended a bit away from the team. The slows will be enough to let Juggernaut bring him down with that Omni Slash. He's already got a Scotty, so the slows are being amplified like crazy here on those heroes. It's going to be very hard to split apart in that situation. Tiny, well, you could say he's the master of throws. I mean, one of his skills is literally all about throwing, but that's a different kind of throwing from this one. It's tactical feed, yeah. Exactly. Flipside looking to be the stronger team, at least from this map and this point in the game. Keep in mind, Stanga have incredible team fight if they can pull it off well. Problem is, so does Flipside. And John, looking to do something here. He's got a Scotty as well. There was going to be a relocate out, but actually, there won't be enough. They won't get it off. Wisp interrupted somehow there. And it's just pickoff after pickoff on the team of Stanga. Okay, from my point of view, my 3K MMR perspective here, I feel like Stanga needs to try and take a fight at their high ground. Of course, they want to defend these tier 2 towers the best they can, but they have pretty decent high ground defense. Because if the team groups up enough, Lich can throw out a Chain Frost and really do some work. Invoker, incredible team fight. Because Invoker, Tiny can actually land a great oh, the Glimpse. He'll get some spells off, though, which means they are going to be on cooldown for the moment. Actually, Earthshaker moving around here. Shiva's now up on the Laserbird, and, yeah. The top racks will go down. Despite their best efforts, despite the best armor from Lich, it's not going to happen. It looks like a BKB is going to come out here for Tiny. This is where Phoenix can be a very good hero against Tiny. I mean, you look at the first one. That's movement slow. Okay, skip. 140 attack speed slow with the Fire Spirits. And I believe with the Supernova as well. Am I wrong about that? Okay, still. Let's just be honest here. 140 attack speed slow when you've already lost, what, 50 attack speed is a lot. A whole lot. Tiny still sitting about 600 from BKB, I'd say. And they do have TPs, right? Yeah, everyone has TP on the Radiant team. Shadowfiend's not picking one up, but if they can bring him down, it's going to take a lot of work anyway. There will be a TP back from the Earthshaker just to defend. Tiny does take down a mid tower, though, trading a tier 1 for a tier 2. A Glimpse. What? What was that Glimpse? I think he tried to glimpse him back before he relocated back with Wisp to isolate Tiny and kill him off there. The timing didn't work out as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And this afternoon, by the way, guys, we're going to be providing you with hopefully 4 games of Gigabyte action today. So, all going to be hosted right here on Truesight TV. Of course, we'll let you know what those games are as they come along. Some of the decisions made by this Tiny are very questionable. He does have the BKB now, though. Juggernaut, though, with an Aegis, and they're looking for something here. Do have Relocate available, but I wouldn't be trying. Now, they're just going to TP home. Smart decision from them, and they're in the trees, so they're not going to be glimpsed back. At least they hope from that. Mania now with a gem up, and this is the problem with Shadowblade in competitive play. Sure, it's a great item in pubs. It's fantastic in pubs because people is stupid. In competitive play, they're not so stupid. At least you hope. As they'll just pick up gem if they need to. There's a lot of slow coming out from this team. Keep in mind, the Shivas from Phoenix will be doing a lot as well. That's a 40 attack speed slow and an aura. And Juggernaut ulti coming out. It's mostly on the Bristleback. Shadow Fiend's ult coming out as well. There's no buyback on the Bristleback as well. 2 down now, and it looks like Tiny will be dropping as well. They're all dying here. Invoker needs to make some big plays for this one to work. As Biggie is going to be dead as well. It's Invoker against the world here. Can he do it? I'm skeptical, to say the least. He will go step drop here. Very nicely played. However, he gets blocked off, and he will fall here. That's a dieback from him, and GG will be called. Stanga, unfortunately for your Norwegian fans out here, they're going to be eliminated for now. But hey, they'll take it all in stride. Good luck in the next round, they say. And Flipsid Tactics will be your victors here in game number 1. Of course, I'm SP Revolution 5 for Truesight TV, guys. Excited to see more of this. I believe we'll be following Flipside. In the next round. Let's go ahead and see if that's up yet. Alright, don't have anything, but Vega plays Priez next, and Joined Out of Red is on that. So I may be competing with Obi-Wan Kenobi on this. Trying to see who... Oh, it's Capitalist. Still competing with Capitalist, though. But hey, if you guys are enjoying the casting, I would really appreciate you guys sticking around. We'll be going live with that game as soon as it comes up. Until then, we'll be hanging around. Don't forget to hit that follow button right below your channel on Truesight TV. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Truesight TV. And for myself, you can find me at SP Revolution 5 on Twitter and Twitch. You can find me at SP Revolution 5 Dota on Facebook. Have a great day, guys, or have a great in between the games, and enjoy the music while you wait here.